Retro.
Hey, this is Catherine Tabor, Senator Padme Amidala from Star Wars The Clone Wars, and you're listening to Jay and Dennis on Podcast Stardust. Stay on the light side.
Right, Sun Star Wars fans, I'm Jay Krebs.
And I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational edition of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy source for Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. But before we get started, Dennis, can you tell our listeners where they can find us on social media?
We are on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust.
All right, so we're getting into a little earlier World Between Worlds than usual, but you'll understand why in just a second. So welcome to episode 871 of Podcast Stardust. Today we are bringing you our special monthly feature, as I said, called World Between Worlds, a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. So if you're new to this segment, the goal is to bring you a wide variety of ideas for products to surround you, outfit you, and bind your style sense together, kind of like the Force. So, with spring season recently blooming in the northern hemisphere of our home planet, going to expand on some products we were talking about last month, but hopefully these bright suns and longer days are lifting your spirits. And these next few weeks of the calendar have a lot going on. So we've got Easter coming up, Star Wars Celebration Japan is on the horizon, Andor Season 2 is premiering on Disney Plus. Revenge of the Sith returns to theaters for its 20th anniversary, and May the 4th, our very special holiday, Dennis, will be here before we know it. So that's why we're sticking this edition of World Between Worlds closer to the beginning of the month. So that way we can give everybody an opportunity to, go out and find some products or have some fun with a lot of these different kinds of lifestyle activities surrounding Star Wars. So lots of new products, experiences, and memories to be made. But before we go any further, each month, Dennis and I like to share an update of any new products that either of us has been able to scavenge or, just updates to things that we already have. So, Dennis, anything new?
No, not this month. I'm hoping for May that I'll have something. Usually there's some May the 4th merchandise that comes out that I try and pick up on an annual basis. But no, quiet March and nothing so far for April. But again, we're only on the second day of the month at the time of recording this. I just haven't had a chance to do much this month so far.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens for next month. So I actually have quite a bit this time around. So I recently went to Fan Expo Cleveland, and this year, instead of spending money on the like celebrities and signings and photo ops and that type of thing, I actually decided to get myself some merch because every con that I go to, especially around Ohio, a lot of the same types of merchants are there, and I get to see all of their wares, but I don't usually spend any money on it because, like I said, I'm, being very intentional of where I place that budget. But this time I did get a few things. So I actually picked up 3 pairs of earrings from a shop, and they are called Literary Alterations and Fan Emporium. But when I got home, I tried to find them online, but I could not. So I was looking for Etsy stores and even Facebook pages and stuff like that, but I couldn't find anything. So if anybody knows what the name of the shop is online, please let us know by letting us know on one of our social media outlets, because I would really love to know. But at any rate, these earrings come in sterling silver, and there's tons of different types of fandoms. Let me just put that out there right now. So they had things like playbills from different types of plays and musicals. So for example, they had Hamilton, and they had Wicked, and they had all kinds of things that way. They had charm bracelets, wristlets, lanyards, keychains, necklaces, all kinds of different things. And as far as Star Wars goes, it was really hard for me to pick just a few. But they did have a special that if you got 3 pairs of earrings, they cut you a deal. So I got a pair of X-Wing fighters, a pair of Mythosaur skulls, and a pair of X-Wings. So I figured I would get one from, different factions of Star Wars and kind of represent all three. And so, like I said, these are sterling silver. The only ones that have any kind of other color are the TIE Fighter earrings. So the solar panels, like on the TIE Fighter themselves, are black. But they're all dangle earrings with fishhook closures, and they're just nice sized. And what was nice about them too is that they come in these little boxes, and they put stickers on the outsides of the boxes so that you can, if you wanted to, you could keep them in their boxes. So they have the Mandalorian and Grogu on there for the Mythosaur skull, and then, a picture of a TIE fighter, a picture of some X-Wings. So, and I've already worn the X-Wings a couple of times. So I really, really like these earrings, and it was a good find for me. And then the other thing that I got was something that I've actually been eyeing for quite a long time. So it's a company called The Legging Lass. And this company is actually available to see on both Facebook, and they also have their own website. But you do have to have a special code to enter their website. And you have to get that code when you go to cons in order to see some of their exclusive merch. But at any rate, what I really love about this company, they had tons of different products, from leggings, as you can imagine, to different types of skirts, dresses, hoodies, blankets even. And they're all made out of this really nice, like heavier weight, sort of non-wrinkled polyester blend. And I love the fabric itself. So I ended up getting a swing skirt with pockets, which is a nice, like, flowy skirt. It has a thick 3-inch waistband and a 28-inch length skirt with the pockets and the side seams. This one is not Star Wars, though. I went actually with Bulbasaur with some sunflowers. So there's yet another Pokemon
I
reference.
was just gonna say, you're on a roll. This is like 3 episodes in a row.
I know, I was gonna say, "Oh, this is gonna be perfect for this." But I love me some Bulbasaur, and I love me some sunflowers, so I could not pass this one up. And it's got a really cute, like, pattern repeat on this with the sunflowers and whatnot, and it's on, like, a springy green background, and Bulbasaur is kind of in these little flower pots here and there and everywhere, and then there, of course, there's the sunflowers, and it fits super nice. And then the dress that I got is kind of a retro cut dress. This one is pink and sky blue with and white with R2D2 all over it. So it's got the droid print, and it's got the nice a nice collar, buttons down the bust. It's got a high waist with belt loops and a tie belt, and then the side seam pockets as well. And this one is just a really nice cut. And it's kind of hard to see from the pictures. Like, the one picture looks like the pink is actually red, but it's like this really bright bubblegum pink with a sky blue. And I just love it. And the buttons actually don't unbutton, it just a slide over your head kind of a thing. And it's just a really nice fit. And the thick poly spandex blend is super soft, and it's got a double brushed feel. And so I'm just super excited to wear both of these. And like I said, if you do happen to get to any of these cons, you can check out all of their wares, and they have tons and tons. And again, if you bought more than one item, you got a little bit of a discount on that as well. So I can't wait to wear, especially the dress. I'm just super stoked about that one. Have you
Yeah,
ever
it
seen
looks
these at
I did
cons?
no, but I did look up, and it looks like Literary Alterations is gonna be at Fan Expo Dallas.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, yeah, they are listed as a retailer. So, I
Nice.
yeah, so I'll be able to check out their stuff then.
Oh, good. I'm
And
glad you looked that up.
they have a website listed there as literaryalterations.com that takes you to an eBay store. I'm
Okay.
I'm not finding the same stuff that you put in our notes, but I am
Mhm.
seeing very similar things.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for doing a little extra investigation there. And
Of
if
course.
when you do go to Fan Expo Dallas, you'll have to check them out and see if there's anything that you find that you like, either for yourself or, for Beth or somebody else.
I say she'll be with me, so definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know your niece is really into a lot of stuff Star Warsy. as well.
Indeed. Yeah, she is.
There you go. So, quick little update. Last month, I had talked about a couple of new springy Her Universe items, and I had mentioned that I had ordered the Her Universe sweater. That's like this. It's a Padme um, floral filigree cardigan, and it is a Her Universe exclusive. So this is a nice bright lemon yellow with the picnic dress embroidery down the front, and then the Naboo symbol in this beautiful kind of gold embroidery, and then these faux pearl buttons. Well, when I got it, I love it, can I just say? And it's super comfortable and it's wonderfully fit. And again, I can't wait to wear it, to work. We've had a lot of jeans days, so I haven't really had an opportunity to wear it. But as soon as I pulled it out of the bag, my husband goes, "What is that, Mrs. Doubtfire's sweater? What is that?" I was like, "This is Padme." He goes, "That looks like something Mrs. Doubtfire would wear." And of course, he was just joking. But now that I look at it, I can kind of see where he was going with that. But it's all Padme and it's all good to me. Anyways.
I know, it looks
But
nice. So.
yeah, I really like it a lot, but I just thought that was funny, so I had to share that. And then the other one was the Her Universe Star Wars Ships Active Shorts, which was also a Her Universe exclusive. So this is the one that has the fitted running shorts underneath with more of a traditional, like flowy running short over top, both having pockets. Love these. So I've actually used these both on the elliptical and out on the trail. And I just really like the fit. The comfort is great. The pockets are amazing. So I highly recommend those as well. So there you go.
All right.
All right, so moving on to some new stuff. So since the first thing that we mentioned was Easter, I just wanted to throw this out there on Etsy. There are tons of different fun T-shirts and like DTF transfers that you can actually buy to put on your own T-shirts or tote bags or something of that nature. There's also some fun ideas for decorating eggs, all kinds of things. There's even a Death Star planter that you can, put your Easter lily in and give that to somebody on Etsy as well. But I just thought some of these were really cute because there's my favorite one has to be "May the Peeps be with you," because I
Uh-huh.
love peeps for Easter. And so they're, three little rabbit peeps, one in blue, one in yellow, one in pink, and two of them have lightsabers. So the one in the center has a bandolier like Chewbacca's, but then you have a red lightsaber and a blue lightsaber on the other ones. And I just thought those were really cute. And then you've got "May the Eggs Be With You," which is a t-shirt that has all kinds of different Star Wars eggs from Boba Fett to BB-8 and everything in between. All of those have little bunny ears on them and just a lot of really fun and cute kinds of things. There's also some baby onesies, all kinds of fun stuff for the kids. So if you're looking for anything cutesy for Easter, Etsy is definitely the place to go. And then moving on to another really fun lifestyle kind of thing. As we know, Revenge of the Sith is going to be back in theaters for the 20th anniversary, and tickets are going to go on sale April 14th. So, Dennis, are you going to buy pre-sale tickets or are you just going to go when you go?
Sometime that week before when it comes out, I'll buy tickets in advance. But with 4 different schedules to balance here, I'm going to wait a little bit closer to time before I pick a showing. But yeah, my intent's to go either that Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. And I know you guys always do the really like all out experience with the Alamo
Yeah,
and they do the dinners and stuff. I think that's super cool. We don't have anything like that around here, but we do have reclinable seats, so that's always a plus. But
indeed.
depending on what theater you go to, there's going to be some fun merch that's going to be available for you. So if you are going to be watching the Glow of Mustafar at an AMC location, you can eat popcorn right out of Darth Vader's helmet. And so this is pretty cool. So it's basically just a plastic bucket of Darth Vader. And if this looks a little bit familiar to anyone that might have visited Disney parks back in 2014, Disney actually had a similar popcorn bucket to celebrate Star Wars weekends, and it was available along with things like a Stormtrooper souvenir mug, a Yoda cupcake, and a Darth Vader cupcake at Darth's Mall. So if anyone remembers that, there you go. And then also we've got a lot of other merch that's available, such as Regal Cinemas and Cinemark. So at Regal Cinemas, there's a special popcorn bucket that has more of the, I guess I would call it the poster influence of the Revenge of the Sith with episode 3 and Vader and the lava and the like. And then they have a sippable Darth Vader cup as well. And so you can get this helmet cup to, enjoy your favorite beverage. And you can actually head over to Cinemark and even pre-order those right now. So if you go to the Cinemark shop, you can get that Star Wars Darth Vader cup for $29.95 coming very soon. And it is a 6-inch high by 5.6-inch wide and 6-inch deep mug. So, a little straw coming out of Vader's head and you're all set there. So that's a lot of fun. And so there's lots and lots of merch available. I'm kind of surprised that they're not doing any of the pins though. Do you remember the pins that they did when like Phantom Menace came out again? I have a few of
Mhm.
those. So I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of the pins though.
No, I haven't seen any of those either. I remember, I want to say it was for Solo: A Star Wars Story. Our old buddy Darth Taxis and I went to see that at an AMC theater. They didn't have the Darth Vader popcorn bucket, but at the time they had an R2D2 combo popcorn bucket soda holder thing.
Oh.
Um, and so he got that, but then ended up getting his soda and popcorn in a regular bucket and cup so that he could preserve the R2D2
Mhm.
thing there. But yeah, they go all out with these commemorative items that you can get to the theaters. And as great as the Alamo Draft House is, they don't give away posters or make any of these type of things available typically for their showings, but that's fine. I mean, I've got so much Revenge of the Sith merchandise over the years that I don't necessarily need anything, but it sure does make it fun while you're at the theater.
Oh, heck yeah. And I'm actually surprised that there's not some other, restaurants and things that are jumping on board with some of the merch because I remember speaking of Solo, a Star Wars story, when that one came out, Denny's was actually a big place
Oh
that you could
yeah,
get merch. And I'm
the
actually sitting here
trading
looking at
cards.
yeah. And I got a Lando Calrissian cup with a Millennium Falcon topper on it there. And I'm actually
Cool.
staring at that right now. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything like that at any other, theater or restaurants. But if anybody knows anything going on in your neck of the woods, please definitely let us know because that's always fun to hear regionally too, what's going on in different places. So if you're needing something to wear to the big screening, there's a lot of the 20th anniversary t-shirts out there. One that I specifically found on Etsy that I thought was really cool is the Revenge of the Sith shirt that features Anakin. And on the front, it's, Anakin or Vader with Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting in the front. And it says it's a black t-shirt and Vader's head, of course, is black, but it has a red background with Obi-Wan and Anakin in front of it. And then it has 20 in a white kind of blended into the background and then Revenge of the Sith underneath it. And then the back of it's really cool because it has actual photos in black and white at the top, like a banner of Padme, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, and Palpatine. And then it has Revenge of the Sith. And then in the middle, it says Star Wars Episode 3. And then it says Anakin Skywalker is seduced by the dark side as the Clone Wars escalate and Chancellor Palpatine reveals his true identity as Darth Sidious. Torn between loyalty and love, Anakin's choices lead to a devastating betrayal of the Jedi Order. And then it goes on from there. So I thought this was a really cool tee, but it's also available in blue, kind of a heather blue, I guess you would call it, and also in a gray as well. So I just thought that was a fun one. But there's tons of these on Etsy that you can choose from. And then there's other places that you can get some merch as well. And actually, Eckstein actually has a new line on the Disney store dropping April 25th, which is when
Oh,
Revenge of the Sith comes out in theaters. I don't know if it's related to Revenge of the Sith because when you click on it, it just takes you to the Disney Store homepage of Star Wars merch. But the picture that they have does not look very Revenge of the Sith-y. It looks very 1990s neon retro kind of, vibe to it. It has
Yeah.
black background with like very bright, vibrant pink and neon yellow and kind of a chartreuse kind of blue that's peeking out from it that says Star Wars in like a quarter zip hoodie, and then May the Force be with you on a t-shirt. So that one's dropping April 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And it is called the Star Wars Collection by Ashley Eckstein. So again, I don't think that has anything to do with Revenge of the Sith, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that it's coming out on the same date as the movie. We'll
Yeah.
see.
That sounds promising.
Yeah, it sure does. So, switching gears to Andor season 2, which is premiering on the 22nd of April, was looking around for some merch to celebrate that. And there's some t shirts on Amazon. One specifically that is called the Star Wars Andor Season 2 Cassian Symbol Shadow of Rebellion Premium t shirt. So, this one is available on all kinds of colors from black, navy blue, asphalt gray, even green if you want to go that direction, heather blue, even pink, purple. But it has the picture of Cassian standing, and the shadow that he actually casts looks like the rebellion symbol. Not exactly, which I think is perfect because we're not quite there yet. You know what I mean? But it's a
But it is
nice
the
little
logo that they've been
homage.
using for the Andor series all along.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
yeah.
But like I said, I think it's perfect because, like I said, we're not
Yeah.
quite to the rebellion yet, but
Not the
we're
Phoenix
almost
symbol,
there.
right?
Yes, exactly. And then there's a tumbler on Amazon that I also found that's called the Rebellion and Hope stainless steel insulated tumbler. And this one's really cool because it has another one of the key art kind of interpreted photos of Cassian with a lot of ships kind of zooming off. He's looking sort of in a profile, and the ships are zooming off kind of almost from his cheek. And then you see K2SO, and then that same symbol that we were just talking about with a star in the middle. And then it has the Andor name on the side. And so that one's really cool. And it's selling for $21.99 on Amazon. And there's also some t-shirts and the like that also have that same design. So there's a long sleeve t-shirt on Amazon that has that same design on it as well. And if you're interested in any of these, Dennis always does a great job of putting this stuff in our show notes, so you can check that out. And there's also a K2SO shirt on Amazon that specifically does say Star Wars Andor Season 2. And so it's got almost like a technical readout sort of thing or plans for K2. And then it says in Orabesh on the front.
KX series droid.
There you go. I always defer to you for the Orabesh because I'm telling you what, I'm gonna have to get my Orabesh Scrabble out this summer and practice more. It just doesn't seem to want to stick in my brain pan. But again, this one is also available on tons of different colors from, again, black, navy blue, red, orange, cranberry red, heather gray. So you can follow your dreams on whatever kind of t-shirt you would like. So different ways that you can get ready for the premiere of Andor. And then we also have May the 4th coming up. So big holiday for Star Wars fans. And so I wanted to give everybody a jump on that. So the Disney Store has tons of new stuff that's dated for 2025, as well as undated merchandise as well. So their Star Wars Day, May the 4th site has all kinds of things on there. So you've got different shirts and hats and sweatshirts and all kinds of things. So I like the sweater slash sweatshirt that they feature here. It's a blue oversized. It looks like the Spirit jerseys. I'm assuming that's probably what this is, but it looks more like a sweater to me almost. But it has blue with May the 4th be with you 2025, and it has Anakin with a blue lightsaber. He looks like a very young Anakin, and then Darth Vader in the background with the Death Star kind of looming. But I just love
Oh, I
that
thought that
blue.
was Luke.
Is
That's
that Luke?
Anakin?
Maybe
I
it
thought
is
it
Luke.
was
That makes
I
more
thought it
sense.
was the, Empire Strikes Back Luke looking at Darth Vader, but
Ah, that makes more sense. Yes. Now that you say that, I can see that. I just saw the blonde hair and I looked at him and I'm like, that must be Anakin looking at the future of himself. But good call on that one.
thank
Good
you.
call. And then, like I said, there's ball caps. I specifically like the one with the droids. It's got sort of a patch with purple on it, and it's got R2D2 and C3PO, and it says Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you 2025. And I like that one because it's kind of got more of a vintage lived in look, which is really cool. But they also have another one that is the same design as we were just talking about on that sweater. And then there's a tote bag for your collectibles and a limited release pin that is a 25th anniversary of Disney pin trading as well. So that's a very special one because you kind of get two for the price of one there. And then on the Reveal for Disney Parks blog as well, there's a May the 4th Be With You 2025 Magic Band Plus limited edition that will also be available on the Disney store. And that one's pretty cool for anyone that does the magic band thing. What does a magic band actually do? Do you know?
Well, the newest version of the Magic Bands do a couple different things. You can use them as your pass to get into the parks. You can sync up your reservations if you're staying at a Disney hotel, and you can use it to get in your door and the like. If you're using the Magic Band plus two, certain attractions will have things that happen them that'll make your watch interact, like lights and things will happen on that, some vibrations or whatever. And then during the fireworks show, typically there's some interactivity on the bands as well.
Okay. All right. Because I've always seen those and I'm like, oh, those are so cool. Like they would be cool just to wear, just to have them. But, obviously I knew that they had a different purpose, but I never really knew what they were because I don't go to Disney parks all the time. But,
No,
for those that
I
get
mean,
to, I think it's cool.
they're completely unnecessary to have at the parks. You can get a much more watered down version of the Magic Band for like 10, 15, maybe $20 that'll you can use to charge things to your room account and stuff like that when you're in the parks, and use it as your if you have fast passes, or I guess they should be called lightning lanes now, that's your ticket to use those. Is you make the reservations on your phone and then you can use that to get you in everything. It's a convenience thing, and then they have so many different varieties that you can decorate it with your own Disney style when it comes down to it. So
Oh, that's
quite a few
cool.
Star Wars options usually.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for the information. I
Of
appreciate that.
course.
I'm sure our listeners do as well.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, if you're also going to be at the Disney parks during the big holiday, Jennifer Goss, aka Anakin and his Angel on Instagram, has just let us know recently that there's a couple of new items available at Batu West. So one of those is Ahsoka lightsabers keychain, which is available at Doc Ondar's there at Galaxy's Edge, and also Jewels of Bith is a company that provides different types of fun kinds of products, and so you can find some Ewok espresso mugs there. They're like stackable mugs, which are really cute, and those are selling for $24.99 as well. Or $34.99. Sorry, the keychains are $24.99. And then, last but not least, Season of the Force is happening through May 11th at Disney, and so you can treat yourself to a light up Death Star popcorn bucket, and there's also a Death Star confection display that is available as well in the park. So, a lot of fun things for people that are going to be there in person. And I've found a new place for us, Dennis. You actually were the person that inspired me to look up this website because you had sent me an Instagram sponsored ad for some stained glass looking kind of Stanley Cup sorts of things for
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. And so I started looking into the company, and the name of the company is actually Swan Lion. And oh my gosh, they have so much stuff Star Wars. You scroll and you think you're going to get down to the bottom of the page, And then there's a bazillion more items and a bazillion more items and a bazillion more items. And so some of these are the sublimation type fabricy things. So they have everything from quilts to t-shirts to like bowling shirts, polo shirts, Hawaiian shirts, all the things. But then they also have stuff like rugs and flip-flops and wall hangings, portrait canvases, phone cases, bikini sets, swimsuits. The list goes on and on. Leggings, hats, so many things. Doormats. It's insane. So I can't even go into all of the products that they have because it would literally take 3 World Between Worlds to go to go over all of them.
Yeah.
But ironically, I never ran into those mugs as I was scrolling through. But like I said, I got through maybe like 400 different products. I mean, they even have shower curtains, backpacks, leather boots. Amazing. And I'm not exactly sure, how they end up fabricating all of these different kinds of things or where exactly they get their designs from. But, I was just really impressed with a couple things, like, let's just say the doormats, for example. So there's the Star Wars doormat 332. So I don't know if they have 332 doormats or if this is just design number 332. But again, the whole sunflowers thing, this is 3 different like panels of Darth Vader in frames on this little doormat, and they're kind of anime style, I guess you could say. It's very Japanese feeling to me. Let's just put it that way. The only
Uh-huh.
thing that it doesn't have that's Japanese is the sunflowers that's on it. So again, me with sunflowers, I just thought that one was really cute. But then they also have even bath mats that remind me kind of some of the parodies on, bathroom humor. So it shows, for example, Darth Vader sitting doing his business and it says use the force. So there's that. But I was just, again, very impressed by the array of different things, even for different holidays. So they have some Halloween themed things. They had some um, Christmassy types of things. The quilts I thought were pretty impressive because they're not just throw blankets, they're actually quilted. So they have a nice loft to them as I was looking at some of the products that they had. I really like a lot of the portrait canvases because some of them are, as we've mentioned before, they are Star Wars, but they're more designed to be more stylistic
Sure.
and or fit into different types of aesthetics for decor and so on and so forth. So there's one, for example, it's Star Wars Portrait Canvas 011, and it looks like it would fit into any kind of a basic aesthetic for neutral colors in a living room. And it just simply has different destinations of planets. So it has Tatooine, Geonosis, Jakku, Jeddah, Savareen, Pasana, and Avrala 7 on it. And so they have little snippets of what the landscape might look like, but it's in a very neutral kind of color palette. But then they also have other ones that are very silly and quirky and things as well. And so it's just, I just feel like there's so many different things that could fit tons of different types of aesthetics. They even have Crocs. I mean, wow, there's just tons of things. But what I really thought was cool was the fact that they are based in New Jersey. So they're here in the United States. And like I said, I just really went down a rabbit hole, or should I say, Sarlacc pit of merch here. But what I found was that they have different processing times for the different types of products that they have. So if you're getting something like an apparel, mug, pillow, blanket, or ornaments, their processing time is 1 to 3 business days, all the way up to things like a graduation stole. Like, come on, who wears a Star Wars graduation stole? That's pretty cool. Candle
Yeah.
holders and picture frames, 5 to 7 business days. So, they even have clocks and bedding sets and all kinds of things, but they have a ship time after that processing time of about 2 to 3 weeks for free US shipping. Worldwide is 2 to 5 weeks with an $8.99 minimum shipping charge. So highly suggest, like, if you need some kind of gift or just something unique for yourself, this is a pretty good website to get stuff from. So while I was talking, did you have a chance to peruse anything fun? And if so, did you have anything that caught your eye?
Yeah, well, what I did is on the left side of the screen, there is a drop down box where you can sort all the products. And I clicked newest, and lo and behold, all the Star Wars stained glass stuff cycled up to the first few rows, as well as all of their Stanley Cup as well. And so, yeah, I'm a fan of the Darth Vader stained glass look that they've got going on there. I don't know that I want to spend necessarily $60 on a quencher, but I do like the mugs. You can get a cheaper version of all this for like $30 for a mug, but a lot of cool designs there for certain.
Oh yeah, for sure. And to follow your lead, I just typed in the word new, just new,
Mhm.
and there's desk mats, custom metal signs, like one that's it's hanging outside of a person's house and it says "May the Force be with you," and it has kind of that iconic, the original Star Wars with Luke holding his lightsaber up high and Leia kind of
Mhm.
leaning into him, and then it just says John's Men Cave, and so your
Oh,
name and text can be customized, and then they have like vinyl record clocks and everything that you can get. So they do have a May the Fourth special, by the way. So you can
yep.
get an extra 20% off of all items and the discount automatically applied at checkout. It says shop now before it's gone. I'm assuming that they mean the discount, not the products, because I don't know how they would get rid of
Yeah.
all those
They have some
products. But
really good desk mats too. As
yeah,
I scroll down this, the Darth Maul one is really cool. The Darth Vader. Oh wow, the father and son stained glass desk mat. Looks like
oh,
Luke and Vader fighting with lightsabers. There's some, and then the blueprint ones. Man,
yes, they have those as like canvas prints too, the blueprints for the lightsabers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the ships, Slave
Okay.
One and Divinity class Star Destroyer. Um, Man, they have everything here. This is
Mm-hmm.
You're not kidding. This is a very thorough website. Now I'm getting to stuff that's not Star Wars at all, but it's they have quite a selection here.
Yeah, they really do. And, I was actually looking at some of the quilts because I've been threatening to get a new, set for my bedroom. And I was actually looking I think it's Sobel at Home is another product that we had talked about here that has like a Tatooine set that I
Mhm.
really liked. But yeah, I mean, there might be some things that on this website that I would, decide to get as well. I love the doormat too that says, depending on which way you put it, it says hello there, and then it says General Kenobi. So you've got Grievous and just like the shadow version of Obi-Wan there as well. And speaking of Sarlacc pit, they actually have Sarlacc pit bath mats, beach towels, all kinds of things. So yeah, once again, that is swanlion.com. And if you are interested, that link will be in our show notes. So yeah. Couple other fun things. I did find there was something that came up on my Instagram for Millennium Falcon sofas. And so I clicked
Good
on
lord.
it and I was like, oh my gosh, these things are amazing. They're not just pieces of furniture, they're statement pieces. And you go to this inspiringdesigns.net and there's tons of different Millennium Falcon inspired couches here with wings, and you have different textures. And there's like, they boast about the craftsmanship, upholstered premium fabric, even things like having sectional designs and things like being able to plug in your devices and things to them, resist wear and tear, blah, 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 blah. And then I was trying to find pricing on this. And if you go to the FAQs on Inspiring Designs, first thing it says is, are these items real and where can I purchase them? And it says, it's essential to understand that these meticulously crafted designs are at this juncture solely digital representations.
I was gonna say it
I
looked a
was like,
bit AI
what?
created.
So I think it was like an April Fool's, even though we're recording this the day after April Fool's. But nonetheless, really cool. However, I did find a company that actually will custom design you some Millennium Falcon couches, among other things. And the name of the website is Crooks Seneca. And this is actually a website slash fabrication um, website that does all kinds of things from escape room designs
Uh-huh.
and like I said, furniture, props, even sound design kinds of things on commission. And they are based out of Richmond, Virginia. So if you want them to basically come to your house and give you a quote on designing a Star Wars room, so whether that be, a theater room or, a man cave, fan cave, workout room, living room, bedroom, whatever, I'm not sure how far out from Richmond they would actually go, but you could always give them a call and find out. And I did go to their FAQs, and they they said on average about $175 to $300 per square foot for the different types of designs that they do. But I was just really, really intrigued by the Millennium Falcon couch that they actually did create, and it was a replica made for a super fan that was custom upholstered and a lot of high attention to detail, including the Dejaric table and lights and everything that is just incorporated into this. So the look and feel of this is definitely right out of the Millennium Falcon, probably when Lando owned it though, because it looks clean
Yeah.
as a as opposed to when Han actually owned it. But yeah, I mean, if you look through the website here, they have just tons of different uh, commissions that they've done for different houses and whatnot. So again, that is crooksseneca.com, and you can check them out at their website and kind of see what all kinds of fun things they have to offer there. But I wonder where that Millennium Falcon couch ended up. It's got to be in someone's amazing mansion, I would
Oh
think.
yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So
That's it looks like it's right out of the Falcon.
yeah, it really does. It's very impressive. So then our last couple of things, as we've been introducing some destinations and fun Star Wars things to do, you actually found this one, Dennis, and I thought it was really cool. And it is the Dark Side Brick Oven Pizza Company in Bourne, Texas. So it's Boerne, Texas. And wow, I would love to go here. And I went to their about page, and I'm just going to go ahead and read this. And it says, to create something truly original, we go back to our childhood roots. Being raised in the late 70s and 80s was a time where you would see kids riding bikes. We played with cool toys, drinking out of a water hose without a care in the world. Knowing when the street lights came on, it was time to go home. The music and movies were original. Hanging out in the arcade in the mall or in the food court, having a big slice of pizza with your friends, showing off your new pairs of Jordache jeans or parachute pants. So then this couple essentially came up with this restaurant. And so the concept behind Dark Side was to take the patrons back in time and have a fantastic dining experience, from the architectural design to the individually commissioned props and replicas that were specifically built for Dark Side by various artists all over the world. Brings you through, different Star Wars replicas. They even have things like Back to the Future, a lot of 70s and 80s replicas. And then, of course, they say the quality of the food had to be equally important. We have researched and traveled all over the US, taste testing the variety of different pizzas and the ovens they're cooked in. And the end result is having one of the best pizzas cooked for you, our customers. So I'll tell you what, I would love to be able to go to this place. I found a blog that did go through a little bit more with the pictures and whatnot, and it looks like a real experience. And they do have a preview event in this blog that they talked about for May the 4th, that pizzas were tossed before their grand opening date, which is cool. But they have a model of Jabba the Hutt's palace from Return of the Jedi, and replicas of R2D2, some different droids, different types of things on the walls. And the outside of this it's just gorgeous. And even the ceiling kind of reminds you of one of the Imperial walls, kind of thing, with the lights showing through it, but they have it as the
Mhm.
ceiling. And so I just thought that was a pretty interesting type of way to incorporate that aesthetic. But did you ever figure out if this was anywhere close to you?
No, I have not. But I gotta do that because this would be a fun fun visit for certain.
Yeah. It
But
might be
it's
just a road trip away for you.
yeah, I'd never heard of Bourne, Texas, to be honest. But
Texas is
um,
also a very big state, so.
it's a very huge state. That there's no doubt about that. Let's see.
So from Plano.
Oh, it's down by San Antonio. No, it's nowhere near me.
Oh,
It's
yeah, 4 hours and 35 minutes. That's what it's saying here.
yeah,
So south of
yeah,
Austin. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Well, it's southwest of Austin, just north of San Antonio. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
that would be
Well,
a
there you go.
that would be a drive, but
Yeah,
it
it
looks
would.
cool. Well, I don't know next time
Yes.
I'm going to be in Austin or San Antonio, but it would be worth the trip.
Well, there you go. So yeah, so that is the once again Dark Side Pizza Brick Oven Pizza Company. So if anybody lives close by, you have to hit that up and let us know. And then the last thing is definitely close to me, and I will definitely be doing this. And it is a place called COSI in Columbus, Ohio. And so COSI always has a lot of different types of science. It's called the Center of Science and Industry. And so there's tons of different sorts of exhibits that they have that travel in and out all the time. And I've taken my kids there a lot of times. And they did have a Star Wars event when, gosh, Colby one would have been probably 5 or 6 at the time. So it's been since then that they've had anything like this, but they're doing something called Unofficial Galaxies from May 10th to September 9th, or I'm sorry, September 1st of 2025. And so on the website, when you go to it, it says, get ready to immerse yourself in a galaxy not so far away with Unofficial Galaxies, one of the largest Star Wars fan collections in the world. This one of a kind experience brings the saga to life. General admission and live show tickets are required to experience Unofficial Galaxies. And then I did find a quote from Chief Experience Officer Josh Sarver, who recently appeared on the Yes Columbus podcast. And he had this to say, as we like to say, we are an immersive experience. And so we're going to take you to other places, other planets, other universes to see what it's like to be there. We're going to surround you with those costumes and those props in full-size vehicles that you wouldn't see anywhere else with this travel. That's right. So for COSI, our team is super excited about being able to build this. And if you go to the Facebook post that COSI has, you will get to see Salacious Crumb coming in like a wrecking ball on the pendulum that they have in the lobby, which is always a lot of fun to watch. So I'm wondering if, there's going to be any collectibles from California, so to speak.
Could be, could
You know
be.
what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I don't know, but they say fan collection. So I don't know if Steve Sansweet will be having anything there or not, like on loan from Rancho Obi-Wan, but be interesting to see.
Indeed, indeed.
So I will be going there and I will report back. So
Can't
there
wait
you
to hear
go.
about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so that'll do it for this episode. And thank you all for joining us for episode 871 of Podcast Stardust and this episode of World Between Worlds. So we hope you found some fun things and fun ideas of things to do. And before we go, we'd like to remind you that you can subscribe on RetroZap as well as other outlets as well. And we hope you've enjoyed the episode. So please make sure that you subscribe to Podcast Stardust on that podcatcher of your choice. And I'd also like to remind you that you can find all episodes of the podcast on retrozap.com. And RetroZap is also home to several other great podcasts covering everything from the MCU, DC, Dune, Star Trek, and a whole lot more. And you can also find all of our back catalog of episodes there as well. So if you want to find something prior to the last 200, that's the best place to go. And we would always greatly appreciate a 5-star rating and reviews on whatever podcatcher you use, and especially if that's Apple Podcasts. And also, please share the show and your favorite episodes on social media. And hopefully, this is one of them. So, speaking of which, Dennis, can you remind everybody what those social media contacts are one more time?
Sure. So check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. We have a Pinterest page. You can find all episodes over on YouTube in both the video format and the music format. The there's no difference. It's just all audio, but they make them available both ways for some reason. And then if you want to check out some of our gear, head over to TeePublic and search for Podcast Stardust. Better yet, just click the link that I'll have in the notes, and you can find all of your Podcast Stardust t-shirts and decals and the like over there at the store. Jay, you want to remind everybody what you got going on in cosplay before we leave?
Sure. So with May the 4th coming up, I've got a few different appearances. So you can catch what I'm up to over on my Instagram, which is at j.snipscosplay, and that will have all of my other past adventures as well as Ahsoka, the Fourth Sister, 2 different versions of Hera, as well as my original concept Mandalorian, among other things. So once again, May is going to be gearing up, and that's the best place to find all of that information on j.snipscosplay. So, with that coming up, we have our news episode this coming Friday, followed by another edition of our Clone Wars rewatch series. So, you have to stay tuned for that one. And then on Wednesday, we're getting back into another edition of Laugh It Up Fuzzball. So, you definitely don't want to miss that one. So, thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. And until next time, may the Force and Star Wars fashion and lifestyle be with you.